I generally don't like boomer shooters, and this may come as a surprise to you since, I mean, you read the title of the video. But the thing is, it's one of the best genres gaming has to offer. You have titles like Doom, Hellbound, Duke Nukem, Doom, A Medieval, Quake, and Doom. If you even bring up the word gaming, boomer shooters are one of the first things that comes to people's minds, right after the insane amount of Overwatch coin. But some of these games I've mentioned do have their flaws. I mean, some more than others, but to its credit, at least it isn't a general competitive shooter game, because those games have what's called a meta, or most effective tactics available. Take example Fortnite. Right now, if you aren't running around with Cap Shield or War Machine's armor, you're fucked. Which brings me to today's game, which is a prime example of how good a shooter game can be without being overly competitive. Ultrakill. Ultrakill is a fast-paced retro FPS that is just an experience to play. I first saw a few glimpses of this game and a lot of praise for it, eventually leading to some of my friends recommending the game to me. And after seeing the crazy amount of weapon combos and just general chaos, it was an instant cop for me. And I usually don't do that. Like, it took me a year to actually sit down and try Baldur's Gate because I don't really like turn-based games, but 97 hours later, and I love it. Case being, I judge things way too quickly, and in this instance, I was kinda intimidated by Ultrakill because I suck at these type of games, okay? I'm sorry, I can't use every fucking weapon in my back pocket in less than 2 seconds. However, once I was able to do weapon combos, I understood all the hype. And in my opinion, I think this is what makes Ultrakill such a peak game. It's the importance it brings to its weapons and how you use them. Each weapon has its own unique quirks that if you master them and their synergies, it basically makes you a fucking god. But you're probably thinking, what exactly sets Ultrakill away from all the other boomer shooters that are out there? And let me tell you, it ain't much, but that little bit sets all the difference for me. It's like comparing apples to zebras. See, Doom has all this cool visuals and cool gore and demonic stuff and... Okay, wait a minute. So Ultrakill does have those same things, but it's also like inhaling an insane amount of substances through your asshole. But I'll tell you what Doom doesn't have. This bad boy. It's quite simple. Throw a coin, shoot coin, win. Or throw a coin, look down, throw another coin, railgun, punch, throw another 2 coins. It's easy. It might seem a bit complicated at first, and I mean, it is. It's gonna take some practice, but there's 2 benefits from this. 1, you do more damage. 2, it increases your style meter. The style meter is basically this bar over here that goes up the more crazy shit you do. I love this because it encourages players to go absolutely sicko mode while you can't even comprehend what's happening on your screen. Ultrakill has something of value that not many other shooters consistently have, and that's just fun gameplay. I know that's like basically putting a blanket over everything this game has to offer, but I can't think of any other way to describe Ultrakill than a fun gameplay experience. There's no gimmicks, it doesn't feel overwhelming, and you don't really have to use weapon combos to beat this game because you can actually beat the whole thing with just the starting pistol. But learning to use your backpack full of insane weapons in various ways actually helps you get a better score after beating a level. Dude, the style meter alone makes you want to try things you otherwise would have never thought of doing just because you want to get a little bit of higher score. Especially with the new mechanics being fed to you almost every single mission. It's like your grandma on Thanksgiving. None of it gets neglected later on in the game either. Take for example, this. You get it after a boss and honestly, it's not too useful, you know, it's cool and all, but you can't parry with it, so yeah, no, it sucks. So you'll probably stick with what's comfortable, you know, nothing wrong with that. The old reliable of yours is doing pretty good. That's until you meet these guys. So not only are you keeping track of what weapon combos you're familiar with, but now you're juggling an arm mechanic you haven't really used all that much. It's just so much fun trying to challenge yourself throughout these missions with all these things going on, all while you're just trying to stay moving so you don't die. Motherfucker, there's also mechanics to the movement in this game, bro. Jesus Christ. But I won't be getting too deep into that in this video because I don't know how to do it. I know I've been glazing over this game however many minutes into this video, but honestly, if you haven't played Ultrakill, please do. It even has a demo for you to try just to get a feel for some of the game's early mechanics, and Ultrakill's in early access right now too, so even if you don't like it, I'd suggest waiting for the full release. Now, some of you may be thinking that this game looks like ass. Where's the competition? What's the point? It's too easy for me. And all I gotta say to that is, shut up. No, really, shut up. Go play COD or something. Fuck. This game is just so fucking addicting, and the bosses exist, and they're fucking hard as a bitch. And I know that sounds kind of weird, you know, bosses in shooters, especially FPSs, it's not typically done well all the time, but it does happen. But if you like Souls bosses, you'll love this game's bosses, because between the fans of Ultrakill and Elden Ring, there's one thing that is mutually understood. A good game is marked with how well it can challenge a player without holding their hand. And Ultrakill does this perfectly. To put it simply, the bosses in Ultrakill here are hard. But I'm harder. A good example being one of the hardest bosses in the game right now. Minos Prime. Is death. Dude, no joke, I almost uninstalled this game after 2 days of trying to beat him, because this is the type of boss that if you haven't already mastered your backpack of weapons and moveset by this point, you're cooked. But I'm really happy that I didn't uninstall, because this is the type of boss that has a specific reason for being so difficult. I mentioned getting better ranks at the end of levels earlier, right? Well, those levels attribute to being able to fight these bosses. The rank required? P, which stands for being fucking perfect. And not just on one level, but all of them. Because if you can do that, then you can definitely fight this guy. But even then, you're gonna struggle with this boss. But there is a way to beat him. And it's a lot simpler than you think. See, Minos Prime over here has a funny way of talking. And at first, it just seems like he's talking shit. But then you fight him for 5 hours and realize every word he says is an indication to what attack he's gonna do. So, once you get that down, dodging his moves make this fight way easier. Now all you gotta do is fight back. I won't get too deep into the details on how this fight went for me, but to put it into perspective, I felt like Sisyphus. You know, that one meme with the guy and the boulder and the music. It's playing right now. How do you not know this meme? And don't get me started on Sisyphus Prime! Because I haven't gotten there yet. But the bosses throughout this game have changed my entire experience with Ultrakill. I was already having a good time just riding rockets everywhere, but these guys showed me the developer's true potential in making a hard shooter boss and made me love it even more. In all honesty, the entirety of this game is just so unique. I don't think it's the rose-tinted glasses of Stockholm Syndrome, but I get some type of feeling whenever I play the levels of this game. They all feel so different in their own ways, and it doesn't feel like it just blends together. There's always something noticeable that differentiates them from one another, and the art style really helps with that. And the designs for every little fucker demon here is just extremely recognizable. There's not a single thing this game does wrong, in my opinion. Even the fucking secret levels are peak. I know I'm kind of spoiling it, but there's a lot of good secret levels here. There's one that's just straight up horror-esque, and then there's another level that makes you question your IQ levels solving puzzles, and then one of them is just a weird anime dating game, and then one's just simply Power Wash Simulator. So yeah, the game's peak.